I decided to go to film school because I knew there was nothing else I'd ever want to do with my life. It was something I wanted to do since I was probably 5, when I saw Toy Story and Star Wars for the first time. That's what really got me into it. And well, I don't know what drew me to those. I guess it's like those are typical little kid films, Not that they're made for kids or only kids can appreciate them, but I feel like a lot of younger people really like Star Wars and Toy Story, and that's just what my parents chose to get me into. And it just so happened that they're also masterpieces, so that helped. And I became obsessed with the way they were structured, how there's the first act, and it all became clear to me even when I was young that there's a formula for making films, and I kind of studied that as I got older. Each time I've shot a different movie, I feel like I know more what I'm doing directing wise, and I work with a bigger crew every time. So like the first major short I did at DePaul, I didn't really have the full grasp of what directors do. Like you gotta have a shot list, gotta have everything on time, and it was really chaotic, I think. But as I've gotten more advanced with it, I'm way more prepared, We have shot lists ready, storyboards, and I think that's another thing is you just keep getting better the more you do it to get better every time I make a new one. Otherwise, why do I keep doing it? What's the point of the experience? And especially with Black Masks, it's almost like every single shot was planned out to be a certain way. There's a reason for it, and I think that's what good filmmaking is, when there's a motivation behind it. And in that way, Black Masks is almost like 13 tiny scenes kind of just thrown around together, but each of them kind of have their own style inside of it, and that's what we were going for. They're all lit a certain way, there's a certain color scheme, the actors act a certain way depending on what type of drugs they were doing that time, So I think it all needs to be calculated. And I'm not sure what particularly drew me to him, but I know the first time I saw There Will Be Blood, actually that was the first film I ever saw by him, I knew there was just something different about it. The way the camera moved, the type of characters he created, how real the supporting characters and everything about it was. I just knew there was something different about him. This wasn't a guy who was dealing with typical Hollywood fare. Boogie Nights and Magnolia are definitely my two favorites. They've stood out to me, and they influenced the way I write a lot. And I think he kind of hit the nail on the head with the concept that in Hollywood, they're preoccupied with the idea of having one protagonist. And Paul Thomas Anderson kind of says fuck that, especially with Magnolia. He has 9 different characters, and you'd be hard-pressed to come up with who the protagonist is. And that definitely influenced Black Masks and the way I shot it. I kind of wanted 5 main characters. I would have done 9 if I could, but then it wouldn't be so short anymore.